Now you can hear me. I'm guessing you can hear me now. I'm just going to put my head down for a few minutes. I can't believe I was muted for 2 whole minutes. Was I really muted for 2 whole minutes? How dare you, StreamYard? I have never touched my mic settings in like years. And now you go and change my mic, default mic, to a different mic? This is ridiculous. I had this whole spiel. I monologued for 2 whole minutes about. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live Coding Elevenses, where I just make mistakes all the whole time. That's kind of the theme of the show, so I guess that's on point. Thanks, Christina. Christina's like, I bet your monologue was amazing. Thanks, Christina. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I can't believe I spoke so long. Okay, let me. Okay, rewinded. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Live Coding Elevenses. I'm Earl Duque. I'm the Senior Developer Advocate here at ServiceNow. This is a live coding show, and so we try to build stuff live. The first 4 episodes of this show, I built a promptception app, like a give us your prompt and we'll make it better app. You can see all of that in past episodes, the first 4 Live Coding 11Cs episodes. And then last episode 2 weeks ago was a standalone episode where I built an entire Discord bot that was managed by ServiceNow in a single sitting. So if you're interested in that, that's that episode. And today I am streaming about we're starting project number 3 basically. So project number 3, I didn't know what to do yet up until like last night or this morning. Really, I thought of a new idea of wanting to recreate something that is a little bit more gamey, like a game back into ServiceNow. Because if anybody remembers my history, whenever I participated in a ServiceNow hackathon, I built games just to mix it up because everyone was building such serious applications, and then I was building games inside ServiceNow. So I'm going to try to build a game. I'll try to walk through it together. Thank you all for bearing with me in this rough start. Wow. So it was just pure silence for 2 minutes while everyone was like, Earl, hello. Yep. Okay, I see it now. Thanks, Travis saying muted. Christina pointing out I have no sound. Gabby's like, can't hear you, Cole. I'm so sorry, y'all. That's pretty ridiculous. I don't have a history of my past games that I've made. I think they're on my personal YouTube because I always post the submission video that I did, but I always have really weird YouTube videos for that. But I've made a multiplayer text-based dungeon, a multi-user dungeon like Zork but multiplayer. That was my first time ever doing the hackathon. The second time I did a party game inside a virtual agent. That's right. There was mini games you could play with the virtual agent, and then it would put you up against other people that were also playing those mini games at the same time in the virtual agent, like Mario Party. Oh no, like Jackbox. That was the inspiration. And then the third one I built was like a clicker idle game in a workspace, and so you would like if you ever played Cookie Clicker. I made Cookie Clicker, but you had to do it via chats inside of a journal entry. So those were my past games that I've made in here. So jumping into it, I really gotta watch the chat just in case I muted last time. So I guess if you are new to this, you'll notice that I like to accidentally mute myself. I also like to accidentally leave this view on by accident and not go back to the bigger screen view. So the chat tends to yell at me for not remembering to switch layouts. Some people are remembering some of the clicker game, the clicker idle game in the workspace while you did it. Oh, that's right. I did the entire thing in virtual reality. So I worked all weekend in virtual reality coding that thing. That was really rough to sit like 12 hours straight in VR. That was really rough on me. And then who was it? Was it Andrew or was it Eric or Jared? One of you or all of you found the API for that table and just started injecting records into that table and then utterly crashed the system because it was not designed to handle that many transactions and trying to display all those journal entries. And y'all destroyed that game because I did not lock down that API. But I learned a lesson about securing your tables on that day. Anyways. Okay. If you saw the title of this episode, I want to try to build a mini crossword app inside of ServiceNow. Most people know what a crossword is. There's a bunch of little boxes and you get a hint at what word should be in that box. You write it in. The New York Times came out with a mini crossword. And I'll load it, but they made so many people mad by putting it behind a paywall. So there was that. So you can't even play it anymore because you have to subscribe to the New York Times Games thing. But it's basically a mini crossword, a 5x5 mini crossword. And a lot of people were digging it until they put it behind a paywall. So there's that. But I thought it would be fun to try to recreate that inside ServiceNow. So that's what we're going to try to do. I'm kind of the person that kind of builds the airplane as we're starting to fly. And so not everything I plan today during this design episode will be how I end up doing it. Because like, do I use a service portal so that external people can use it? Should I do it in a React-like component and load that component into an interface? Should I use UI Builder? I don't know. I have to figure that out. That will just be probably like one section saying UI as my design, and I'll figure it out from there. For everything else, I'm going to try to do design elements today. Okay. So starting off with design, I'm going to just organize this by, I don't know how I want to add it for organize this. We'll make this frame tables that I need. So the first, I'll just use sysuser for the user who's playing it. My tables, let me think, what else do I need? I'm like so flustered from the 2-minute silence that it's like affecting me now. Oh, you know what? If you want organized like coding and feeling of structure and knowing what they're doing, go watch the other live coding streams that Christy and Travis does. Whenever I watch them, I'm like, how do they have like such clear thoughts of how to move forward with certain things, whereas I'm just kind of like fluttering around with no direction. So tune into theirs if you want a little bit more forward thinking, whereas mine is more nebulous. Yeah. Shout out to Becca Duquesa in the chat on Twitch. She's pretty cool. That's my wife. Last time on our last stream too, someone mentioned that it's probably helpful if I put some background music. People are wondering if it's a dead sound. If there's no sound at all versus me muted. Okay. So I need probably a daily puzzle table to host each puzzle. And each puzzle will have Oh, we need a word and definition table. Because I thought having a 5x5 mini crossword is perfect for things like ServiceNow, where we have a billion abbreviations that are about 4 to 5 letters long or 3 to 5 letters long. So I thought, wow, a mini crossword puzzle would be perfect for ServiceNow related stuff. And so it's like ITSM and CSM and ATF and FD for Flow Designer or Flow. Like there's so many different ways a mini crossword would probably really be cool for ServiceNow terminology. So I thought this would be a fun thing to try to tackle over time. Okay, so I have a daily puzzle, word and definition table. There needs to be a way. I guess that might. So I need a way to store how to take all the words, how to take a subset of words from the word and definition table and put it in the daily puzzle table so that we know what is a what across, what is what up and down. So that means I think I need another valid or puzzle layout table, and that would be attached to this. So like every day, there's a new daily puzzle. It grabs randomly from the word and definition table and then figures out a way to make them all fit in a 5x5 grid. And that 5x5 grid is saved in this puzzle grid table. Laszlo. Okay, you know what? Building a mini crossword app in ServiceNow. Today we are designing it. That is what is happening. All right, so now anybody joining knows what we're working on. Okay, so additionally, we would want more tables. There needs to be a time completion timetable. So whenever a user finishes the puzzle, it shows how fast they did it. Would we need anything else to recreate this? For tables, at least. The leaderboard will be the completion timetable. Oh no, you're right. It does need a separate leaderboard table because there could be best scores over, like who has the best scores over time, and that could be your overall score kind of thing. Cool. Do any of these need any special configuration? Like, should they be extended from task? Should they be extended from metadata? Should they be auditable? You know what? Let's do this as the core tables, and then I'm gonna make another frame for. Whoa! I didn't mean to do that. stretch goal. Because what I'm thinking, because Wizzo Floyd in the chat asked, how will this leverage generative AI? So I think one of a cool feature could be is that we default to having ServiceNow stuff, but a user can topic request table can make a submission and say, hey, can you generate a word list for a particular topic? And then we'll use generative AI to come up with a JSON object of words that and definitions, and for that topic to fill up the word and definition table to generate custom daily puzzles for each user that they could share out. So well, would it be puzzle instance? Oh, so record every single time someone even starts it? Interesting. Okay, I think I dig it. I did not organize this well. Instance. You're saying extend this from task, and I'll denote that with something. I should save what your comment is, though. To use for metrics, for open, close time tracking. This is to generate, so the generative AI part. Any other stretch goals for that? What else could we use generative AI? But I think it would be, I like this just because then people could come up with new topics on the fly and it'll populate the puzzle. Maybe, let's try this. One of my buddies made a website where it's basically 20 questions, but it's 10. And you're trying to guess the thing before. Hi, Bobo. Here's my doggy. Say hi. Can you see him? No, you can't see him. You can see his tail wagging. So in his whole thing was it's utilizing generative AI to answer your 20 questions, to figure out if it's like a yes or no for your questions. But the cool thing was he forced several other large language models to also do those puzzles every day. And so the real goal was how many times can humans beat generative AI to finding out the answer before they get to it. So I'm thinking maybe if we, as a stretch goal, put now LLM results. Puzzle now LLM completion times. That wouldn't be a separate table, but I guess this is more stretch goal. So core tables, this is stretch goal. Yeah. Okay, so let's make another frame. We're going to say, just because I want to make sure we have everything saved before we move on. This one will be other app elements that I need to remember not to forget. So like a UI where a person will actually do this. Does it need to be restricted to LLM? No. We could just say LLM stretch goals. The UI, yeah, especially because inside of here we can easily we probably could easily have it. Does a skill get assigned a LLM, or can different instances of an agent be given an LLM? I don't know. We'll come back to that. We need the UI. And specifically within the UI, so I'll do smaller notes. A list of puzzles, list of the daily puzzles page. Oh, actually, they don't necessarily have their own page, so I'll just put each element. List of daily puzzles, the leaderboard, my times, the puzzle itself, oh, interesting. I think you can specify the tool, the LLM, in the tool you give the AI agent. Okay. Yeah, because then I can create multiple agents that will simply, like the ChatGPT solving agent, the Gemini solving agent, the now LLM solving agent. So that'd be cool. Oh yeah, and then MGOPW says maybe a AI hint agent. The list of the daily puzzles, the leaderboard, my scores, my times, puzzle itself. Maybe we could split this up into two. And do overall. So every time you get first place, you get a higher point total, but then this one could be daily, just for individual puzzles. You know what? The hints thing might be easy to just build into this then. Word, definition, and hint. Because you might as well just, oh, you're saying use AI to give hints on the fly? That's a lot of random, that could be a lot of transactions. I think I'd rather just build it into that table, because when we do a topic request, we can just have it also do hints for that. All right. Laszlo's saying hints can be based off of difficulty and how many hints you can get. Have X number of hints you can use, and the value of X is depending on difficulty. So would we need a difficulty table, or could that just be... How would we assess difficulty? Would it be by the words themselves, or by how complex the puzzle is? How would we determine that? If we do it by the words, we could put it on the definition. We could put it on this table and have and assess how hard each one is. If we did it by the puzzle itself and how complex the grid is, that's a little bit more complex on how to gauge what difficulty is. Yeah, maybe if you want more hints, just send a small amount of Bitcoin to this wallet address. I'm just kidding, no. We'll revisit that. Maybe we'll add it to the stretch goal here. Difficulty modifiers. I like this group think of it though, of figuring out what could go into this. I feel like there's a critical UI element that I feel like I'm missing. On-screen keyboard? No, that's more like if you're playing. No, you would always have a keyboard if you do this, right? I guess another app element that's needed is security. Oh, a fun one would be, so in the UI, I love the ones where it's like share button, and it does remember like old school, like Wordle, where it would show you the boxes and tell everybody how well you did and how many tries and stuff like that. But a share button saying, hey, a link to today's puzzle and how well you did. Can you beat my score? Kind of share text. So that'd be fun. I'm always interested in what will happen if I take this and hold on, let me shrubbery real quick. All right, I'm always interested to see. I'm making a ServiceNow app, a ServiceNow Mini-crossword app for fun. Here are my design elements so far. What am I missing, or what would be fun additional features? It's a great start. Pause and resume button. Nah, I don't want people to just jump in, press pause, and save the crossword and stuff like that. Streaks and badges. Oh, that's actually a cool one. I'll add that one. Streaks or badges for doing well, how well, or how many times you've done it in a row. Solve 5 clues. Yeah, what's funny is actually now if we build this word bank, we could make a lot of other games with it too. Like we can make simple like hangman or pop quiz, flashcards kind of thing. So that'll be interesting because, oh, I see. There could be regular mode versus Zen mode. Here, I'll add that as a feature. Zen mode. Oh, just pick a random letter to fill in as a hint. Yeah, that could be a letter hints. Friend leaderboard. Yeah. Well, collaborative puzzle, multiple people doing it at the same time. That'd actually be really cool. I'm gonna say that's out of scope for right now. Create your own puzzles. I'd rather just do it via Gen AI. Clue difficulty tracking. Record which clues stump people most. Oh, that's actually interesting. I like that too. Now, if I want to do, so why I like this is, it's not just the difficulty of the whole puzzle, but we could see how many people are stumped by particular words, which means either the clue was too hard, or not enough people know about it, and that might be good indication that we might need to build some enablement content on it, which means I would need to adjust not just completion time, but also why am I moving these things around like a willy-nilly? Okay, completion time of puzzle, but also record completion time of individual words. Like the moment someone gets the word right, that won't make too sense. That would be weird though, because how would I record that because I don't necessarily do all clues in order, and we don't want to reveal clues one at a time. So it would have to be from the beginning of the start of the puzzle to when they actually put in the word. Oh, you know what? We can incorporate this by doing we can attach the hint to each clue, and if someone needs a clue for that hint, we can increment a value on here saying this is how many times someone asked for hints on that word particularly. I think that's where I would build it in. I think I like that approach. We'll go with that then. Yeah, okay. Heat maps, that's funny. You know what? Theme of the day is interesting. Do I want to store the flagged clues in a separate table instead of just incrementing it on this table? It means I would have we could shame certain people for always having to ask hints. Is that what? That's one thing we could get from it. Yeah, let's add it. Might as well have it as a structure because we never know what we might want to do with it later. For theme of the day, even if it's within it doesn't even have to be big topics. It could even there's so many different terminologies in ServiceNow. What if we did themed puzzles? Interesting. So I think what we would need to do to get this working, wow, there's a lot of tables already. word categories table, because then each word can be stored in a category, and then each word can have multiple categories, many categories, and then if we are able to classify every single word in different categories, even if we use AI, then we can elect to force a certain daily puzzle to be like, this daily puzzle must be this category, and it'll pull words only from that category. Okay, we'll have that table just in case. I don't think that's hard to add, and we'll add the stretch goal of themed puzzles, themed daily puzzles. I already have that one. Hidden clues that unlock if you solve fast or perfectly. That'd be funny. Solved in 42 seconds, kind of thing, yeah. Clue style choosers. Select dad joke mode, pop culture mode, and difficulty auto scaler if someone's breezing through. Swap in tougher synonyms mid puzzle. That'd be mean. Change out the words. Have you all seen there's one Wordle like one. I can't remember what it's called, but the word changes as you guess to always be as far away from your guesses as possible. So it's pretty funny, that one. Hint agent personality. Make the AI helper speak in a character voice. That's actually funny. Give all clues in leet speak or something. Or as a pirate. No, okay. All right, I think this is a lot. So now I'm going to go through and add what each table fields should be, just so that I have some diagram later. I can't remember what template I should use inside Miro to do that. Internal storage? What does this do? What? Is it just, no? Okay. Swim lanes. I don't want swim lanes. I just want like a table or like a diagram thing. Table? No. Database? Table. Onion diagram. What is the term? Like for I'm just going to use a table. So I'm going to use this as it's not very pretty, but I'll get there. Give me a second. I still can't believe I was muted for 2 minutes at the beginning of this. How do I move you? How do I move this whole table? So this, I'm going to make my way of showing relational. Laszlo, I was muted for like 2.5 minutes at the very beginning, talking into oblivion, and everyone in the chat was just like eating it up. So daily puzzle will feed the puzzle grid. Word and definitions will feed puzzle grid. And word categories. Puzzle instance user. Whoa. We'll use a puzzle instance. Completion time of puzzle will be there. Which we don't need to do that arrow because it's already attached to this one. And then leaderboard would feed that. All right, the daily puzzle will have a relationship to puzzle grid. Wait, we have to do this right. Yeah, it'll have which puzzle grid it's using. Puzzle grid will have no, actually this would be which daily puzzle each line will be for, and then vertical or say direction, vertical or horizontal. I'm going to use bold as my reference indicator. Which word fits that direction? it would also need okay, so what I'm thinking in my head now is I could store direction separately because it would be vertical or horizontal lines. But I'm also going to need anyways to store the position of where that word is. And so I'm wondering if direction is there's a few different ways we could do it, because we could say column and row. We could do a grid. And say the word starts at position 0, 0, which would be the top left for me. And then we would need direction because we wouldn't want to know if it goes down or right. Or we could do a row field, a column field, because that would just be 1, 2, 3, or 5 for both. Still a grid technically. Oh no, but what I was saying is, like, if we just say which column and how far, that's a grid. Yeah, okay, that's what we're gonna do. Row, column. Okay, cool. Word. Oh my gosh. Definition. Hint. Do I need anything else on that one? I don't think so. Word categories. Category name. Maybe a description of the category. And I think that's it. And then this one needs to be category. Puzzle instance would be daily puzzle. Start time. Well, if we're doing metrics, then that would actually be stored on a different table. But wouldn't hurt saving them into here. End time, duration. And since we're extending from task, then we already would have. Wait, those things are already on task. Never mind. Right? Gotta authenticate. Hold on. What? Yeah, duration's there. Work start, work end. Yep, it's all there. Okay, so we're not gonna. I'm just gonna leave that. And it has active, so we'll leave that there because that could be the solved indicator. And state could have that too. Hints used, which word? This would be Yeah, Word's fine. Word. There's other durations though. Yeah. Time worked? Timer. Timer would work too. Time worked is good. And then user. Completion time of puzzle, and that was attached to the instance, but we don't need completion time of puzzle anymore if we're recording that all in the puzzle instance. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And leaderboard is just puzzle instances, right? Oh, the leaderboard was to track over time, because daily leaderboard can easily be pulled from puzzle instance then. Leaderboard over time, which let's make sure I don't forget what that means, over time, would be a separate mechanism to score. So it would be user and completions. No, because we could do that via puzzle instance. This one would just be user and score, then whatever score mechanism we think of. Yeah, I think so. And that would be business. That would be a business rule. All right, this is looking good. This is looking good. We have a little design document. Well, we have a architecture document. We don't actually have a design document. Because I like really good product requirement design documents. But I don't have time to fully build one on this stream. Okay, I think this is a good structure though. Want me to sketch out a data model for how the puzzle grid works. Oh, I mean, I guess we can look through the stretch goals to see if I should think ahead of any of the structure. Laszlo gets excited about certain things. Professor of Logic, are you generating a different puzzle for each user? No, my hope was to generate one puzzle per day so that everyone can participate in the same puzzle and see how they do. Similar to a lot of the web apps online nowadays. But I think if we have this feature of the topic request one, then people can on the fly request new puzzles and play as many times as they want with different puzzles. Yeah, I think that would be a cool additional way to play. Is just like, oh, I did the daily puzzle and I just want to do random puzzles now. So actually, I'll remind myself to do this here and say, along with in the UI a list of daily puzzles, a random puzzle button to play any puzzle. Yeah, because if they click the random puzzle button, then it will generate a new puzzle grid, not necessarily attached to daily puzzle, which means I need to change this part, because if they have a random puzzle button, it would generate a new grid. You know what? No, I'd rather not do it. I'd rather keep it this structure, but change this to a puzzle table and have the puzzle table. So let me just update one thing real quick and have the puzzle table indicate if it's a daily or random. Yeah, because then that would solve for if we incorporate a topic request thing, because then it would be it wouldn't be a daily puzzle, it would be other random puzzles. So maybe also another that's stretch goal. I'll leave this blank for now. Okay. I was going to put show all randomly generated puzzles list, but I'll just leave it blank. So this, I think if I incorporate this, I would probably want to make it a different table or make it a rhythm. And then that would feed into this table. So I could add it, but since it's a stretch goal, I'll leave it there. LLM completion times. Oh, if we put large language models against it, would that be additional? No, because we would use the new AI agent user table and maybe just put it as a user. Streaks and badges would definitely be its own table because we would need to define what badges are in streaks, but that's a separate table, so we don't need to do that yet. Zen mode, we can actually prepare for that now and say timed or Zen. Letter hints, that's more of a UI thing. Or it could be in here. Word hint or letter hint. And then theme daily puzzles would just fall under daily. Okay. We kind of were going back and forth on this one, Professor of Logic. Will the difficulty be based on the level of vocabulary? I don't know, it could be that. It could be how new that terminology is. Like, it might be something that's just brand new in the newest release, so less people know. It could be just by how many words appear on the puzzle versus other ones. There could be other different ways. That's why we kind of just put it as a stretch goal, because I wasn't really sure exactly how I would solve for that yet. That sounds like a problem for future Earl. And I feel like I'm going to wrap up now, as we're getting about 2 to 3 minutes afterwards to make up for the fact that I didn't speak for the first 2 minutes because I was in silence mode, like a dum-dum. Yeah, so at the very beginning of the stream, I apparently was speaking for about 2 to 3 minutes in complete silence because I was using the wrong microphone. So that was I think there's a specific moment, if you rewind this later and watch me face palm so hard and need to like put my head down on the table because I was so embarrassed. I think I was probably bright red. So go laugh at that later. But yeah, I think that is kind of the design episode, right? That's realistic for live coding, is sitting there and actually designing out what the app should be. At least a good builder should actually be mapping things out so they don't forget anything and have a plan. I think the next time I stream, it'll be creating probably like a plan of action and then jumping into actually building the tables. And then we'll go from there. But yeah. All right. I'm committed. We're going to build this thing. Let's see how many episodes it takes. All right. I'm gonna call it. And some people are just joining me now. Hi, hi, Shandu. And then we're going to resume in 2 weeks when I live stream the next part of this app. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you for bearing with me as I stumble through different things. And if you want to check out other shows, there are many shows on this channel. We have other live streams. So there's live coding second breakfast with Christy, live coding afternoon tea with Travis. And you can find those usually scheduled on this channel in upcoming lives. And if they're not there yet, they probably just finished streaming, so they got to schedule the next one. We also have video creator toolbox episodes on the YouTube side of things, not on Twitch, to just showcase different features for our software that's releasing. And we are updating that as we go. So tune in. We have other random content. We talk about AI. We talk about building tutorials. We have news release cycles. We also do things like bite-sized, hey, did you know these things that we're teaming up with our MVPs to do. Christy is teaming up with our MVPs to do, so kudos to Christy to do those. But yeah, check out all our stuff. Okay, bye.